In 1872, in the city of London, many prominent gentlemen gathered at the Reform Club. One of these gentlemen was Philip. He employed a single bowler. The only requirement of Fox's bowler was perfect prominence and regularity in his work. On this last morning, Fox was waiting for a new bowler to arrive. A man entered and introduced himself as Chong. One day, Fox went to the Reform Club. The member of club and he started talking about travel around the world. They made a bid that Fox could travel around the world in 80 days. It's going to be difficult, but he knows that he can do it. Fox and his servant took a taxi to the train station this evening. A few days later, British detective named Fix was Senator at least. Mr. Fix had been sent to sea to hunt for the tail. In his opinion, great lovers always look like huntsmen. When the Mongolia came into the port, Fox and Passepartout entered the England consul office for stamp Fox passport. And by the time they left Bombay on October 20, they exchanged 2 days. Philip Fox calmly entered this information in his journal. It was 4:30 when the Mongolia landed and this passenger went ashore. Fox ordered Passepartout to be at the train station by 8 p.m. to catch the train to Calcutta. Passepartout wishes to look around Bombay. He entered a beautiful pagoda at the top of Malabar Hill. He didn't know Christians couldn't enter Indian temples. Suddenly, Passepartout was knocked to the floor. He found himself being beaten by 3 anchor-clips. He quickly jumped up and ran out of the pagoda as fast as he could. When Passepartout arrived at the train station, he was shoeless and hatless. Mr. Fix listened to Passepartout tell Philip Fox what had happened at the pagoda. At 8 p.m. on 22 October, the train stopped 15 miles past water because the railway had ended. They were in the middle of a very small village. They soon learned that the railway was finished. There was a gap of 50 miles to Allahabad, where the line picked up again. They must charge the village for transport and found an elephant that belonged to an Indian near here. While the elephant moving to Allahabad, they heard the noise from the jungle was getting closer. They hid behind some trees and were very quiet. Fox could see placed in the long robbers, surrounded by men, women, and children. A group of holy men led a beautiful young woman who looked like European. Then came another cart, on which was a dead body of a very old man. This is Akasi, a woman sacrificed. She will be born with her dead husband, who was the Elisha of Bulation. Fox wishes to save her and take her down. They travel quickly and escape. They reached the train station at Allahabad by 10 o'clock. The train left Calcutta at 7 a.m. As Fox left the train, he was greeted by several policemen. They were being charged with the desecration of an abduction because Passepartout's misunderstanding at the pagoda in Bombay. But Fox was worried and Alphabet. Then Mr. Fix followed them and observed them boarding the steamboat Rangoon. The trip from Calcutta to Hong Kong would take them 10 to 12 days. By 1 p.m., the passenger of Rangoon went ashore. Fox sent Passepartout to the Connecticut to buy 3 tickets to Yokohama. Passepartout met Mr. Fix in front of the Connecticut. Mr. Fitz invited him to travel for a drink. He told about bank robber and wanted Passepartout to help him, but Passepartout could never betray his mother. Fitz put a drink in Passepartout's drink without being naughty. When Passepartout took his drink, he instantly went to sleep. As Passepartout did not come back by the next morning, Fox wishes that they would have lived without him, and found him again in the crowd long north at the Yokohama. Then they brought the American steamboat, the General Clean. 7 days later, the General Clean entered San Francisco Bay. Phileas Fogg and the author arrived in America at 7 a.m. Before they got in the train, Passepartout asked if they should be sunken. The American Railway traveled between the East and West Coast. The train tracked that strait between Omaha and San Francisco into danger such as wild beasts, very Native American, and angry. 3 years later, as the train passed through the Wyoming territory, there is a daily hard sailor street. The train was under attack by wild Sioux natives. The passengers carried pistols and shot at the Indians. Many of the passengers were badly wounded. None were dead, but 3 were missing, including Passepartout. Fox wished to find him and found him later. They were stuck in Fort Canning, 200 miles from Omaha, and the train to New York. But they had no luck. A gentleman they met last night had offered to take them to Omaha on a flight with sail. At least then, an hour later, they stood at the train station in Omaha. But the steamer, the China, had left for Liverpool just 45 minutes before they had arrived. The next morning, Fox went down to the dock to find a ship to hide privately. He saw a mid-sized ship, the Henrietta, that was puffing steam, a thing that is what ladies should leave. So Fox paid the captain £2,000 for its passenger to travel with him to Liverpool. By noon the next day, the ship had borne up all of its coal and didn't have enough to reach Liverpool. Fox wishes to borrow a letter from Captain. Suddenly, he ordered a sailor to strip every bit and wood from the cabin and the decks to burn for fuel. By the 20th, the Henrietta was now only a flat platform of island. Fox had only 24 hours to reach London. 20 minutes before noon, on December 21, Fox and his companion went ashore at Liverpool docks. Suddenly, Phileas Fogg was put in prison by Mr. Fitz. He stayed in the cell with his eye on his watch, silently hoping for a chance to get to London. Then, as 33 minutes passed through, Fox heard the door of his cell open. He was a free man, because the robber was arrested 3 days ago. Phileas Fogg, Passepartout, and Aouda took a cab to the train station. The express train to London had left 35 minutes prior, so Fox ordered a special train to leave at 3. It was 10 minutes to 9 when they stepped off the train in London. Fox was behind by 5 minutes. He had lost the waiter. Later that evening, Fox had a private conversation with Aouda. They wished to get marriage ceremony for the next day. Fox asked Passepartout to go and find Llewellyn Daniel Wilson at the local church. They soon learned that there are only 10 minutes left to the Lifonka. He has soon lost the waiter. Inside the Lifonka, Fox's friend nervously began a round of it. 1 more minute and they would be the winner. At the 57th second, the door opened as the clock ticked. only 60 seconds. Philip Fox stepped in and said, "Gentlemen, here I am." It was Philip Fox in person and on the correct day. Philip Fox won the wager. He had changed the day because the world moved westward. Yes, he had traveled eastward. Nowadays, anyone can travel around the world in just 2 or 3 days with the airplane. All you need to do is sit down, eat a food as you serve, and wait. A man can now go around it 10 times more quickly than 100 years ago.